World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
To the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell! Deep center field! Carrying! And it's gone!
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our XBL playoff series here between Wishbone and Spaceman Spumoni. We, of course, have Mist here joining me this evening, trying to make sure that audio is ready. So, Mist, how are you doing, good sir? You might be muted. I think I see that light on your mic there.
Yeah, we all have to watch for the Misto red light there. Yeah, I'm excited for this series. I'm going to start with our first key because that's kind of my entire point is set the tone early if you're the Knots. It seemed like Spaceman kind of dominated game one of the series. It kind of was looking the same way, to be honest, in game two. And then Wishbone really started playing a lot better and was a legitimate threat to take game two there. So, and we all know that Spaceman is known for just being really strong in the later innings. I mean, Wish is kind of that way, but Spaceman, that's really his reputation. So if I'm the Knots, I definitely want to get off the schneid early. Spaceman needs to, stay solid with the pitching. I think Wishbone is a little bit more, has a little bit stronger a backlog of really pitching well. So Spaceman's got his work cut out for him. And then Giant Slumber, I'm not sure. I'm going to leave that one for you.
Oh, that was kind of just retitling your third point you shared with me earlier. But yeah, I mean, all great points, of course. Yeah, like you were just saying, Wish has a bit more, a much larger sample size for sure. Definitely known to be a coveted pitcher, always in the upper echelons within the league. And Space truly does seem to have the real-life clutch trait, as he just always finds that extra little edge he needs to turn it on late, more often than not. Of course, we're not all perfect, but yeah, I mean, clearly that is what propelled Spaceman's campaign last season all the way to etching his name into that trophy here with us, and so he seeks to do it yet again. Looks to do it in consecutive seasons, which would let me double check real quick, but I feel like that might be the first time since Lazy. I know Weaver had his 3 in a row, but the most recent, was season 16 and 17 with Lazy. And there's been a couple others, of course. That's quite the elite company to try to join. You have Lazy, Weaver, and Flash. So, some of the best names in the game, of course. But yeah, we can also maybe chat just for a moment. Let me see if I can bring it up here for everybody. We had Whoops, that is not the right one. Here we go. We have the regular season history between the two sides, and very even as far as the record goes, very similar in home runs, just separated by 1, the exact same amount of hits. So yeah, very interesting identical stats to look at in their history for regular season purposes. But when we switch over to the playoffs, of course, we are immediately thinking about last season and how we know how that story ended in favor of the spokesman. So Wish is looking to kind of right the ship, and as you guys know from tuning into our previous segment for this series, both games went in favor of Spaceman. He really clutched up in game 1 to really just increase his lead. I think it was a 1-0 game from the first inning all the way to the 8th, and Spaceman put up a nice little 5 spot to help kind of secure things. Whereas, you know, the second game was a little more interesting. Of course, we had more explosive bats. We saw that again in the first inning from the spokesman. It was 6-1 after the first inning. They had a pair of runs in a couple other innings. Ultimately, the Astronauts tried to salvage things there at the end, top of the 9th, put up 4, but it was a little too late there. Final scoreline 12-8. So that brings us. Excuse me. Nope, wrong.
Our triple headers
Oh
next.
no. Professionals around here, you know. Sorry about that. But anyways, I was just wrapping that up to kind of get us started and sink our teeth into the remainder of games 3 and 4 here, which are live, of course. Kudos to Wishbone for streaming the first pair of games. This evening, we're going to be watching from the perspective of the spokesman. So allow us just a quick moment to transition into those games. Make sure those players are ready, and we will get game 3 underway, folks. Hang with us just another moment. Alrighty, folks. Game 3 underway here between the spokesman and the Astronauts. Let me double check. They may have to.
Welcome back to Red Rock
I think they should be good. Yeah, Wishbone should be home here as he is the higher seed.
It's time to play ball.
If you don't mind, chat, give me some feedback on the audio here just to make sure everything's on the up and up.
And let us know, folks.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 25.
But as it is, Rocket Turnburner, best leadoff hitter in the league. It's going to be Hadfield on the mound for the Astronauts. This one lifted into left center, gets past that left fielder's glove, outstretched, and has great speed. It's a nice, solid leadoff double here for the spokesman. Kind of picking up right where they left off in the first 2 games.
Ineptitude.
Baseman swings and misses at 1 low and away, not taking inside. Make the count go to 2-1. Hadfield does carry the Wild Thing trait. Gonna have to keep an eye on that here as we're in a 3-1 hitters count. Spaceman a bit too slow on the velo. Let's see if Wish goes back to it. No, he goes off speed, and it's back-to-back doubles to lead off here in game 3. Gus Grissom dives, trying to cut down the bases. Base rounder activated. That's just a veteran move. Great heads-up base running. Spaceman knew he carries the base rounder trait, plus the high speed is enough to punish the throw into second there. Wish already on the back foot, yet to record an out. One run across for the Spokesman already, looking to double that here with the runner 90 feet away. 2 fouled balls, 98 on the power meter. Spaceman appears to be locked in early. Oh, he's a little early on that swing there. Sends it foul hard down the third base line. Do it again. Swings at one, chasing, but it will be productive, earning the second run of the game so far.
The first baseman.
Yeah, I think willing to give up an out there just to get that run. And even with 0 outs, you know, you want that run. He kind of was just swinging at anything.
Just wanted to really, secure the run. This one's hit hard to the shortstop, diving. Armstrong throws it to first, and time for out number 2. Brings up Hammer Nail. Swings at the first pitch. It's a repeat of the previous at bat, so finally securing that third out is Wish and the Astronauts, but not before allowing 2 runs across the plate.
Yeah, and we talked about, you know, Wishbone needs to get off the schneid early, but it was the Spokesman getting off the schneid, getting 2 runs cashed in there, but I think that could have been a lot worse for the Astros. So, you know, it's way early here.
Yeah, still the first inning, of course. And yeah, I mean, Wish arguably did a good job of putting a lid on things after just allowing those 2 base hits, retired everybody else. So here we are now, 1 away, bottom of the first. Wishbone, good reticle on that. That's going to be fair down the line, trickling towards the left wall. Misplayed by Ineptitude. Probably didn't matter too much, though. Good speed from that batter, and so it's a 1-out double for the Astronauts. It's their turn to try to put some offense and runs across the plate. Ken Mattingly steps in here. He swings at the first pitch. That's going to be just foul.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Another off-speed pitch, hit well, and Smoke does a great job to range over the shoulder dive. Snap that ball, throw it onto first, so there's 2 outs now, but a runner in scoring position. Spaceman potentially, he is going to elect the intentional walk here. Brings up Alan Shepard, who has middling batting stats, great speed. Gonna try to poke something into the shallow outfield, find the grass or a gap between the middle infielders.
Not seeing a lot of accuracy so far from the Spokes. That's the one concern.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna miss, definitely want to miss outside the zone. Does well to find the upper corner. Makes the count go full with 2 outs. And gets Wish to chase. Good job there by Spaceman. Playing with his outs, knew that he had a decent chance of inducing a swing and chase. He got it, ends the inning, and avoids the problematic issue that was starting to kind of grow there.
Yeah, you know, that cut fastball just so deadly when you put it in the right spot.
This ball hit hard too. That shortstop just didn't have the launch angle to lift it over the fielder, but that's the 3rd ball we've hit on that line from Spaceman already this game. You know, Mist, as an objective party to this, it is nice to just see people kind of hitting early, getting things going early. Pitching duels are fun and all, but we kind of saw some of those earlier today with Simon and you and Julio getting your games in, so I'm ready for some bombastic moments here tonight.
Yeah, if we leave Julio's side out of that, there was definitely not a lot of hitting in that series.
Hey, thanks for heating up for you at times too. I mean, speaking of heating up, this ball deep to left field. It is fair off the foul pole. It's a 2-run shot. As Green's home run goes 300. What was that? 383, I think I saw. Regardless, doubles their lead here. The Spokesman absolutely heating up.
Yeah, being very aggressive slat. We're seeing not even afraid to swing outside the zone. The Spokes really coming at the Astronauts right now. You know, they have some house money, putting the pressure on the Astros.
Nice pitch there. Off-speed catches the upper part of the zone. Those are always tough. Metalhead and their funky little strike zone, but this one hit hard. Diving first baseman off the glove is a difficult play, and everybody's going to be safe,
The left fielder,
which will bring up
number
tremendous
30,
ineptitude.
tremendous ineptitude.
Swinging first pitch, but hit too hard. Oh no, the sliding right fielder. I'm not entirely sure they had to slide, but they made the decision to do so, and it has backfired immensely. The bases are now fully loaded for Chuck Beerson.
I thought that was a fantastic play from right field. That has to be caught.
Yeah, that's a brutal moment, and the knife has been twisted as Chuck Beerson goes deep. It is in the bleachers about 10 rows back. A grand slam for the spokesman.
Wow, what a swing.
The first baseman, number 99, Reese Torque.
Yeah, this pitcher is rattled.
Yeah, I would be too. They've allowed 8 so far, and back to the keys to the game missed. I mean, you said set the tone early. It's exactly what the spokesmen are doing. They've continued that effort here in the series. Game 3, leading the series 2-0 already. If they were to go on and win this game, I mean, that just puts so much pressure on Wish to try to come all the way back in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to bet on anybody, bet on Wish, but it's awfully tough when somebody's slamming the ball around the yard the way the spokes are.
Right fielder, number 13, Jim Lovell.
Jim Lovell steps in now. Second inning, going to lead us off here in the monumental task of trying to come back in this game. It is still very early. Nice hit ball, good reticle, just not the launch angle needed, as this one's going to be put out at first. See Wishbone probably uttering words we're not going to allow on the broadcast. He's probably just frustrated that didn't result in a hit. Take strike one, swings at a cutter low and away, but it does find the grass for a single here. Gonna have to really dust themselves off and try to get something going.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing that the Astros can lean on here is he's getting some pitches to deal with. So maybe put up 2 or 3. That would be enough to you know, quell the tide a little bit. That play in right field, though, I'm already feel haunted by that play. That was just so bad.
Yeah, it was just one or two pitches later. I mean, it was just so immediate. This one,
and it was right after the bobble by the first base. I mean, that was the first base you could kind of understand, but then when it started to snowball, that's when you see those type of home runs a fantastic home run from the spokes.
Now batting, number 68.
Hadfield's going to get yanked early.
Slam, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. Chuck Beerson sent that ball 10 rows deep and never looked back, as this one's hit into shallow center field. And that'll be the third out of the inning. Saw a warning track power earlier in that second out from the Astronauts, but not quite able to get anything fully online yet here. So we're going to enter the top of the third now. The reliever is forced to come in and induces a ground ball to third in time. Throw over to first for the first out here as Will Smoke steps in. Gonna have to fight off the specialist trade that Valentina carries as that ball's lined into the second baseman's glove for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Slat. You just kind of have to bite down on, especially early in the game. You can't start bringing in pinch hitters, so you kind of have to eat those green traits sometimes.
Yeah, we see the count go 3-1 here. Barely clips the upper corner. A fantastic pitch there by Wishbone. Sends a curveball up in the zone and was not reticled well enough to do any damage as it finds the glove out in left field for Alan Shepard. We now shift gears and sides going into the bottom of the third. Gus Grissom will lead us off here. He sends one deep into center field, ranging over his turn burner, and casually makes the play with plenty of speed.
Absolutely terrible pitch. Wishbone lays into it, and it's just not going his way. Needs to turn this around somehow.
Yeah, baseball's just a finicky sport. We've talked about it in various Discord channels, but you know, there's so much failure built into the game. It can feel like you're doing things right, and you still are not rewarded with the hit sometimes. And I'm sure Wish has felt that way a few times already this game as he swings on the fast velo there, unable to catch up to that fastball for out number 2.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing the problem here. Well, not that one, but see again another fly out. But Spaceman, he's going to eventually find his pitching. It's been a slow start. He's absolutely lucky, more than good so far on the mound.
Yeah, he's gotten away with some pitches, as this one is also a mistake pitch, and that's punished into the deep right center gap, bouncing into the wall there for a leadoff double, as he did not trust the speed to try to stretch that, and probably the wise decision as Turnburner steps into the batter's box here, turning over that lineup. Quickly down in the count, 0-2. Valentina, this will be her 15th pitch. So the stamina woes are going to quickly haunt the Astronauts. Hard on the ground to the shortstop. Not really a diddle. It's a pretty normal play there to retreat the runner, but you have to protect that lead runner. So it was executed perfectly by Spaceman and finds the runner now at third base, opening up the opportunity for a sac fly.
You're starting to dip. Now we're seeing it.
Yep. Wishbone gets the out at home. A great throw from the first baseman. And I was a moment away from kind of, you know, saying thought he was going to be safe, and I was saying you should probably just take your medicine even though it's an 8-0 game. But boy, was I wrong. Wish perfectly got that throw just in time, and that could prove to be a big deal because, of course, we're so close to the mercy threshold already. So he does allow that double early in the inning, but did not allow it to cross home plate. Keeps the score at the same result, and so we now head to the bottom of the 4th. John Glenn steps in, the bad ball hitter on the Astronauts, looking to get his team's offense going here. Baseman leaves the changeup in the bottom corner of the zone and gets the sliding catch in center field. Oh my goodness. Missed everything, seems to be going Space's way. He's doing everything right. He's doing everything he needs to, but some of those moments are like a pixel away from being a single or, you know, a home run maybe from Wish's POV with some of the reticle placements.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, Zlat. If you're looking for a bright side, I like the bat from Wishbone so far this game. Hasn't really had a lot of luck, but and some of it has been bad pitching. But again, he slams the ball.
Even that moment there, it looked like the right fielder almost let it hit the grass. So it was almost misplayed, but instead he does make the catch and find ourselves at the second out. It was a hit and run as well. We saw Wish, his runner took off with the Steeler trait, trying to just, you know, incite any kind of offense. This one to shallow right field again. Botham catches it on the run. That'll be the third out of the 4th inning.
The first baseman, number 99, Reese Torque.
Yeah, you just got to continue to pile up the clean innings, and certainly Valentina can do that. She's already got a little bit of wear on the tires, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, is her pitch count's so high from being forced to enter the game. After Hadfield, the starter for the Astronauts, just got Oh, he just got taken care of as this one's hit to deep right center yet again. Space is just pummeling that wall in deep right center. It's a leadoff double here for the spokesman in the top of the fifth. Hammer Nail steps up to the plate. Watches a curveball outside for ball 1. Gotta start to think when Valentina gets pulled. I know there's not many relievers to use, but you still want to try to keep this game, prevent it from hitting that mercy threshold, of course.
Right fielder,
There's a single back up the middle, so runners on the corners, nobody out. Bear Botham steps in. Carries the sprinter trait. I wonder if that might come into play here in a possible double play scenario.
Bringing in the CP early, looking for low velo.
Carries the pick officer trait as well, just to try to avoid shenanigans. And the runner on first as a curveball finds its way in the zone. Spaceman was not expecting that.
Number 4.
There is
That wasn't even
strikeout.
dotted. Yeah, he totally was not expecting that.
Little
Probably
smoke.
looking changeup.
Yeah, something kind of low in the zone based off his reticle, but this one, a nice solid piece of hitting, good contact, finds its way to the grass in center. That'll be an RBI single. Score of 9-0, meaning the game-winning, well, the mercy threshold run stands on second base in scoring position. As we see yet another hard hit ball to center field, it's hit too hard to actually allow that runner to score. So the bases have been loaded here as the starter for the spokesman, Sirloin Burger, steps in, and Spaceman realizes the situation, does not hesitate for a moment to bring the pinch hitter in here. K-Pops, RBI Hero activated with extra contact versus righties to boot.
Yeah, this is about what every single batter on Jay Ace's team looked like when I was playing him today.
Oh my, we see a fastball just barely missing the corner to walk in that 10th run, so mercy threshold activated. Wish will be forced to put up at least one run to avoid a mercy. This one's on a ride to center, but just caught at the track. We were inches away from witnessing a second grand slam this game.
Number 30, tremendous ineptitude.
This ball not quite as crunching of a noise off the bat, but another big inning there, 3-spot from the spokesman. Drives across 11 total runs here in game 3. Wishbone needing something to go their way. That's not going to do it. Another hard line out right at the shortstop's head.
Now batting, number 44.
Trying to find anything, any loose change under their cushions. It's Wubbo Uckles, the pinch hitter, coming in, and he finds the grass in left field. This could be the spark. We're down 11 here for the Astronauts, but that could be the spark that changes game 3. Maybe not. Gus Grissom flies out to left field. There's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th. Wish needing 2 runs to avoid a mercy.
Neil Armstrong.
Can Neil Armstrong deliver for his Astronauts, hitting 500 in this series, as well as 2 homers and 5 RBIs, but he's hindered by the reverse splits from Chewy Escargot. The 2-1 count. A mistake pitch, but whiffed on. Good eye from Wish. Count goes full here with 2 outs. Runner should be on the
He
move.
wants a walk.
Swings at a changeup low and away. It's fair. Beerson to first, and that will end it. Game 3, final scoreline, 11-0 Spokesman. They take a 3-0 series lead here in the XBL semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Fantastic game from the Spokes. They had the absolute pedal stapled to the metal there from basically the first pitch.
Yeah, they had everything rolling in their favor and took full advantage, sent a couple balls over the wall. I mean, just really kind of the perfect game from the Spokesman's point of view. They did have some mistake pitches, and you know, they were fortunate enough to not be punished, really. But as things are, it's a 3-0 series lead. Wishbone's back is fully to the wall here. So, folks, give us just a quick second here. We'll check in with the players, see when they're going to be starting up here in the next few minutes. And we'll bring Game 4 back on your screens as that starts. Alrighty, folks, Game 4 coming at you fast here. We're going to be at El Viejo, home of the Spokesmen, who find themselves up in this best of 7 by a series lead of 3-0. As Game 3 just concluded, it was an 11-0 score line. Spokesmen with the mercy through 5 innings. 5 or 6, I think it was 5. We're going to have Fourth on the mound to start us off here, and the strikeout to start the game. Brings up Neil Armstrong. He's going to see off-speed, low and away, catching the zone. Good pitch there from Spaceman. This one sent to left field, slide, and it does careen off the glove. It is not caught cleanly, so it'll be a single for the Astronauts here. Let me get the audio back up a little bit. I think I lowered it slightly at the end of Game 3. This one back up through the middle, so back-to-back singles now for the Astronauts. This is exactly what they were needing.
Now batting, the first baseman,
John Glenn steps into the dish. Bad ball hitter, of course, paired with that Mind Gamer trait. See, the pressure meter is half full as the count goes to 3-0, surrounded. Might be playing a factor. This one hit hard to the shortstop yet again. Wish has done that time and time again just tonight. Just in not even a full 9 innings. He's hit it to the shortstop really hard, probably 5 or 6 times now. That's got to be devastating. This one hammered into center, finds the grass. That's going to score 1. Runners are rounding their bases. It's a double here in the first inning. Runners at second and third. Astronauts looking to find some vengeance here against the Spokesmen. Going to see the intentional walk come out here with 2 outs. Buzz Aldrin steps in, swings at the first pitch, bounces off the mound, off the pitcher to the shortstop in time at first base. And just like that, when you thought the Astronauts had everything in their favor, what appeared to be another gift was not going to work out. And it's only 1 put across in the first, but you still got to take the good if you're the Astronauts. As Turnburner sends a ride on this ball to center, just shy of that warning track. What do you think, Miss? Should there be instant replay challenges in this game? Do you think we should have them take a second look at that throw to end the inning?
No, we love the drama.
Blueford earns a strikeout here as Chuck Beerson steps in with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Bluford is, of course, a right-hander, so Bierson does not get the boosted power, but he does find a way to send that back up through the middle, finding the center fielder's glove for a single. Reese Torque steps in. He does benefit from right-handers getting 10 power boost, and pretty similar at bat there. Back-to-back singles now here for the Spokesmen. Trying to get something going in the first. Trying to match the offensive output from the Astronauts.
Yeah, you got to get an out here.
Strike taken low in the zone. Hammer Nail, who carries the fastball hitter trait. Swings at one. Gonna be caught, actually, by that second baseman there, Ken Mattingly, to end the inning. So a couple of runners go stranded as the bombastic bats for the Spokesmen kind of cool down a little bit there. And Wish is looking to pick up right where they left off. They had the bases loaded in the first inning. This one to right field. Botham took an awkward line, but did correct it enough and put a glove on it to get the first out. Bluford, the pitcher for the Astronauts here, finds himself in a 1-2 count, make it 2-2, trying to drive up the pitch count at least from the starter, and they'll put the shortstop to the test. They dive over. Green makes another great play, getting the throw in time to earn the out at first base. That brings Gus Grissom back up to the dish. Swings at a strike there. Make it 2-1 now. Getting a bit of a Discord delay. I don't know if that's being fed to the stream or not, but this one's fouled away into the crowd on the third base side. Curveball misses low and in. Count has run full. Gonna be challenged on the outside part of the plate, and Wishbone swings at it. Lined out to the third baseman. That'll take care of the side. We head now to the bottom of the second. Bear Botham will lead us off here, the 6-spot hitter for the Spokesmen.
Yeah, and not just because he's up 1-0. I really feel like Wishbone is going to win this game. This game's going to come down to some of the small things, and as great as Spaceman certainly is, Wishbone, a little bit more veteran in him, can come up with some of those plays we already saw in the field. And I mean, the RNG gods can't continue to crush him, can they?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can, unfortunately, but I think I'm like you, where I don't want to see a sweep personally. I think both of these players are good enough to get at least a couple wins each in this series. But you know, Wish is going to have to find a way to see this one out all the way through. We got plenty of baseball to go. We're only in the second inning, and there's actually no outs here with runners at first and second. So the Spokesmen are threatening to do some more damage. This one hit hard, but just barely fouled down the first base side. Everybody retreats. We'll do it again. Count is at 2-2 here. A good eye from baseman to watch that one miss. Count goes full, swings and misses on the four-seamer.
Wow, that's a big out.
Number 9, hot 4.
Does bring up the possibility of a inning-ending double play as the pitcher is hitting now for the Spokesmen. Have not swung the bat yet. Count goes to 1-2. This one hit deep to right. Ranging back is the fielder, and I was a little quick on my call there, but it sounded good enough to give it a chance.
It really did. Oh man, that jumped off the bat. I don't know what shot that out of the sky, but that was wild.
Turnburner barrels that one back up through the pitcher's ankle, and we have a tie ball game.
One is okay, but you gotta somehow stem the tide here. .92 on the swing meter there for Tremendous.
They get a pitch to hit to the second baseman. Ken Mattingly makes a fantastic dive. Gets a mojo boost as their nice little reward to end the inning.
Yeah, no, hung it in there nicely. Yeah, 1 run is okay there. Back to even. Again, I like the way Wishbone is swinging the bat. I think this is his game.
The second baseman, number 28.
And here's Ken Mattingly now. Some nice boosted stats here. Very dangerous in the batter's box, but hey, he's been lining out to shortstops all night. Does it again there for out number 2.
Yeah, it does seem like spokesmen have cleaned up the pitching quite a bit compared to what we saw, especially at the very beginning of Game 1, which will make it tougher, but Wishbone also seems a little more locked in here.
Good take there from Wish. Watches the off-speed, miss the zone. Going to be a four-seamer, though. Low and inside. Does well to fight it back up the middle for a 2-out single here. Try to get something going for the Astronauts as they are in the heart of their lineup. It's the 5-spot hitting left fielder, Alan Shepard. Not able to catch up to the four-seamer there. Runs the count to 2-1. But takes the inside changeup for a 3-1 hitter's count. Cutter on the outside part of the plate.
Big hit.
Sent deep to center. Turnburner dives, but it bounces off their glove. That could allow a run to score. Everybody's advancing. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Throw was sent into third base. Cutoff might have made a difference there, but at the end of the day, the run crosses the plate. This ball deep to right, just shy of the warning track. Another inning ended with only 1 run scored, but still productive, and the lead regained for the Astronauts as they try to take charge of Game 4 here. Before they can do that, though, Beerson has something to say. Bounces that one into the wall, deep center. That's going to be a leadoff double.
The Spokes have been getting the runners on the bags early in these innings.
Number 49.
That's the worst thing you want to see against a great hitter.
Yeah, and here's a big call from Wish, bringing in Yuri Gagarin, going to the pen early, which he was pretty much forced to do in Game 3. It was 8-0, and had to try to pull out all the stops just to give themselves a chance. Here, it's a 1-run game, and maybe, doesn't want to fall victim to the same traps as Game 3. He's electing to bring the reliever in before the score is run up. Count goes to 3-1 on Hammer Nail. Takes his fastball. Might have been a screwball, actually. Doesn't matter as ball 4 is issued on the next pitch. So the bases are loaded for Bear Botham. Pressure meter 3/4 full. Hard hit to the first baseman. A huge break for the Astronauts.
Now batting the second baseman, number 4, Lel Smoke.
That ball could have gone anywhere. Found the glove of the first baseman. Oh, a mistake pitch wasted there. Count goes to 1-2. And swinging and missing on, I think, the cutter for out number 2.
Yeah, Gagarin is fighting through surrounded here. Does have reverse.
Yeah, Wish probably put that trade on him thinking, oh, he's never going to have 2 runners on the bases. He's a reliever. He's one of my best guys. Nope, 3rd inning. Bases loaded. Let's see how you can do. He's doing great so far.
Well, Wishbone is supposed to be the master of the roster tool, and he forgot the most important thing about roster building, which is you build for the playoffs.
Yeah, it worked out in that moment there as Gagarin was able to get all 3 outs, didn't allow any runs to cross the plate as the spokesmen are threatening yet again. Feels like every inning they're getting those base runners, like you said. But that was a immaculate performance there to come in from the pen and put a lid on things as this one's hit deep to left, but just shy again of the wall. So it'll be a deep fly out to start off the 4th inning here for the Astronauts. Jack Schmidt now stepping in. He has a homer in this series. Just a solo shot, but he's hitting 400.
Hey, Zlat, that's a wild glove on this catcher. I love it.
Yeah, there's
It's
a
like
couple of
70s tie-dye or something.
yeah, there's a couple of. Well, forget about that. This one sent to deep right center. That's surely gone. Couple rows back. A nice little solo shot again for Jack Schmidt here in this series. Extends the lead to 3-1.
Yeah, big time hit here from Schmidt.
Now batting, the pitcher,
Astros
number
just
49.
looking to, get some kind of cushion. Because space is going to hit late, so you want to have maybe a 3 or 4 run lead at least.
Yeah, another mistake pitch. Sent back up past a diving shortstop for a 1-out single here.
Now batting, the center
Yeah,
fielder,
this is certainly the
number
time for Wish
21.
to stay locked in and, feel like it's their turn to put the pedal to the metal, put up a huge number. This one hit hard, but right at Bear Botham in right field for out number 2.
Very fortunate there for the Spokes.
Now
That
batting,
could have
the
easily been
shortstop,
in the
number
4th or 5th
Neil
row there.
Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong lifts off to deep left center, and it does go over the wall. It's a 2-run jack and a 5-1 lead for the Astronauts.
Yeah, nice hitting from the Astros here, starting to come on.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 28.
The bats finally starting to lift off here for the Astronauts in Game 4. Maybe asking themselves why we couldn't have this earlier in the series, but you have to just not look in the rear view anymore. Your back's against the wall. You're down in the series 3-0. You just got to take, one at bat at a time and keep looking forward, I think.
Yeah, and I can speak from experience. Earlier today, you just don't want to get swept. I mean,
batting, the first baseman,
at some
number
point, it's
23,
about not getting
John
swept,
Black.
right? When you're down, you haven't won a game. You're down in the elimination game. You just want to get that game. That's all that matters.
Nice piece of hitting there. Hit hard enough over the jumping second baseman. Everybody's running. The speed is good enough to score the run.
Oh, he didn't buy it.
Yeah, Wish was really pressing his luck there. Puts up a 4 spot as all things are said and done. So it's a 6-1 ball game now. Now it's the spokesman's turn to face a bit of an uncomfortable run differential. See how they can come back from it.
Yeah, I'm feeling great if I'm Wishbone. Now, Gagarin is going to have to eat up a little bit of inning here, but I think he can do it.
Left a nice meaty pitch there, fouled away. This one's sent on a ride, but should be routinely handled out there by Grissom as it is for the first out of the bottom of the 4th. Turns over the windup now for Rocket Turnburner. Gonna have to battle the reverse splits from Gagarin. Finds the strike zone on his 3rd pitch of the at-bat. This one meaty. Great timing, but a little early. Runs the count full now here. Payoff pitch. Smacked foul yet again. And another one. These reticles are insanely good. It's just the timing is slightly early. And now this one's laid on the 4-seamer. 98 miles an hour, fast enough to earn the strikeout.
Yeah, I think Spokesman is hocked up on some kind of an energy drink because he's been pulling balls foul the entire set, and especially today.
Yeah, we're not afraid to piss test people if we need to here in the XBL. As this one's lined out to the hot corner, and that will take care of the half inning.
Did I recommend piss testing the Spokes?
Chewy Escargot on the bump here now, entering the game after the starting pitcher was pinch hit 4. So their own reverse splits have entered the game. Bit of a chess match as to when to bring it in, and it pays off there. It's a strikeout.
Right fielder, number 13.
Good pitch there from the Spokes.
Curveball high, misses the zone. Just going to try and throw it again. He does find the zone this time as Bish does not attempt to make a bat on the ball there. This one left too much plate. Yep, it's sent to right center yet again. I think that Maxima advertisement is just getting battered. We've seen so many doubles hit this game
The third baseman,
right in that
number
little spot.
2.
So they're going to want their money back for that sign. It's going to be so beat up.
Yeah, but it gets plenty of camera time, so I guess
That's true.
it's paying for itself.
True.
So runner in scoring position on second base here now. Count goes to 3-1. Buzz Aldrin benefits with extra power here, but watches the changeup for strike 2. So we have a full count. Cutter inside on the hands, fouled back. Next pitch, sent to left field. Not quite powerful enough to reach the warning track, so an unproductive at bat there as we have 2 outs now in the top of the 5th.
Number
Jack
5,
Schmidt had that solo shot earlier in this game. Hits a looping curveball to the shortstop yet again. That's like his favorite thing. He just has hit so many balls to the shortstop in these 2 games tonight. It's kind of wild. Doug Beerson slices one over into the opposite outfield for a leadoff single. Gets a little mojo boost as well for their efforts. Reese Ford gonna ground this to second. On to first for the double play. Man, Wish could feel like they've needed a double play all night, and they finally get one when they don't really need it. Quickly, 0-2 in the count. This one fouled away for Hammer Nail.
Yeah, kind of lost in this, Lat, is that Gagarin is eating up innings, which is massive for the Astros.
Yeah, and he earns another strikeout here on the night. So he's been solid since entering the game. I think in the 3rd inning, has not allowed a ton of base runners, was able to put out the fire in the 3rd inning when they were called upon, and now exiting the game. So an extremely solid performance from Gagarin. They're pinch hit for here to lead us off in the 6th, and it's a leadoff single on the first pitch.
Yeah, I was almost gonna say I'm not sure I would have pulled him, but Wishbone proved right there with a nice single from the hitter.
Now base running.
Yeah, I think he was
30.
up around 40 pitches or so. So I mean, the stamina and everything was a major factor, but like we said, an excellent performance for him. Now we're going to need the rest of the bullpen to step up here, keep this game in the favor of the Astronauts. You see the count go to 3-0. Yeah, surely Wishbone was taking the whole way. Curveball. It misses the zone just below the knees, so walk has been issued. There's nobody out still here in the 6th inning for the Astronauts. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Neil Armstrong. I think he had, yeah, he's locked in. He had one of the homers earlier this game, so he's been hitting fairly well. This one hit off the glove of the pitcher. It's knocked down. Only plays at 1st, and they get it. Runners advance.
Second baseman.
So now at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Ken Mattingly up at the plate, and this is, yeah, a tough call for Spaceman. Not sure if he wanted to issue the intentional walk. He's electing to pitch to Mattingly. That's always a precarious situation as this one's hit deep to center. Just shy of that warning track. It should be a sac fly. Runner is going to have to retreat from second base, unable to advance, but a productive at bat here extends their lead now, 7-1 Astronauts.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 29, Alan Shepard.
Yeah, I think Spaceman is very concerned here. Escargot seems a little bit off his game right now.
Yeah, not getting away with some of these mistake pitches like he was in Game 3. But he does find his way through the inning after allowing that run. So we head now to the bottom of the 6th as Valentina Tereshkova enters the game for the Astronauts.
Fielder, number 23, Bear Blossom.
She's going to have to do some heavy lifting, but there's nobody more qualified.
Yeah, of course, carrying specialist and elite four-seamer. Let's see if that can be enough for at least a few innings. As this means Wishbone, I was just going to say they're down to their SPRP and a closer at this point.
I think Tereshkova can ride this out if she gets hot.
Number 4, Lil Smoke.
One thing Spaceman can try to do is take pitches and make that pitch count climb. But he also doesn't want to waste too much, too many opportunities, and does a good job there sending that back up through the middle for a single.
Yeah, if I'm the Spaceman, I've got a bunch of house money. I'm just going to play my game.
As he does, hitting one hard to the third baseman. Aldrin made a good effort, but unable to come up with the ball there at the hot corner. So runners now at first and second. Chewy Escargot likely to be pinch hit for. It's K-Pops yet again with the RBI hero proc. Quickly,
Need something out of this hitter.
yeah, quickly 0-2. Good eye, watches the changeup miss the zone. And she punishes that changeup. That was too much plate. Grissom dives, but it gets by him and it hits the wall. This is going to score 2.
V3. Too slow. That's a big couple runs, though.
That is certainly one way to try to claw their way back in the game here. Pinch hitter delivers, as they should be pinch run for. It's going to be Hog Hill. So we'll see Hog Hill pitching next inning. But as she tries to warm up, she's going to pinch run at second base. Turnburner looks for something to hit, puts it on the ground to the shortstop. That'll at least advance the runner. They do not beat the throw. But yeah, I mean, Valentina's tense here and her pitch count's climbing. So like we were talking about earlier, the Astronauts were forced to go to their pen early in Game 3. Wish elected to go to them early here in Game 4. And it's been paying off up until almost right now. The 3-1 hitters count. Curveball to the second baseman. It is a routine play. Mattingly throws it to Glenn.
Monster.
And that'll
Absolutely
end the inning.
Monster. Yeah, he wanted Tereshkova to just womp and stomp her way through this, but getting that out right there was huge.
Yeah, I mean, if that run scores, you have another base runner. The wheels are a thread away from falling off, right? So good job there by Wish to get out of it. And looks to punish this one here, sends it to left center field. Awkwardly, Turnburner just has to kind of be right on that ball's tail. It's going to be a triple here to lead us off in the 7th.
Third baseman, number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if Wishbone keeps hitting, it's not going to matter too much, but Tereshkova does as long as she doesn't completely, fall apart.
Yeah, and this ball is sent on a ride to left field for a nice sac fly, so claiming one run back for the Astronauts there. It's 8-3 now here in the top of the 7th. Only one out so far.
Bad. Oh.
Yeah, another mistake pitch, gets away with it. Just too much launch angle.
The pitcher, number
Valentina's
67.
at the plate now. She'll probably just take until 2 strikes, I would think. Nope, never mind. Swings at the first pitch, grounds out to second baseman there. So a quick stretch, glance at the box score. Quite a change of pace from the first 3 games of the series here as the Astronauts lead us 8-3. Spokesmen do have opportunities and 9 outs to play with to try and get their way back into this game here as Chuck Beerson looking to utilize this power. Is that like 100 power I'm seeing right now from being locked in plus the trait?
Yeah, looks about 100 even.
65 on the power swing meter here, and this one's not going to do any damage. It's caught there in left field, so 1 away.
Tereshkova definitely dipping. She's trying to go as far as she can here, She's certainly going to have a short leash from here, I would think.
Hammer Nail carries the fastball hitter trait. We'll see if a fastball is thrown by Wish anytime soon. It's back-to-back curveballs. Count is at 2-1. Oh, a mistake changeup. 99 on the power swing, but it was not reticled as good as it needed to be there. Spaceman Not entirely sure what was going on there. But it doesn't matter as he grounds out to the first baseman. Side retired here in the 7th. I think he was trying to get to this option screen for some of the visuals. He is streaming, of course. That's why we're watching tonight's games from his perspective. So maybe some performance hardware stuff to deal with. In any case, headed into the top of the 8th and swinging on that first pitch, lining out to the second baseman there. It'll bring up Neil Armstrong. This ball hit well to right field. Botham dives and not well timed as it gets past and bounces off the wall. It'll be a 1-out double here.
Now batting the second baseman, number 28.
Would be a great time for Ken Mattingly to kind of do some damage for the Astronauts. They had a nice sounding effect there on the swing, but clearly the reticle couldn't have been that good as it ground ball to the second baseman. This ball, sent into the gap of left center. Awkward fielder switch situation there. Gonna allow extra bases. May have been extra bases regardless, but with an RBI double, lead extended. It's 9-3 now. Astronauts not going to go quietly here in this series.
No, and you love to see it. Don't go quietly.
4 straight balls. The walk issued here brings Jim Lovell through the dish. Wishbone, just a pixel away from launching that one out of the park. Finds the glove in center, so you can see the run output has massively increased for the Astronauts here in Game 4. But it's not over yet. The baseman has certainly, as we talked about, carried the clutch trait in many of his games. He's had some crazy reverse sweeps as well in his tenure. Last season, on his campaign to winning the entire World Series, he I think it was the second round, he had a reverse sweep against Pizza Volcano in a best-of-5, and then he's just had some really solid performances. So this game would appear to probably be over, but not count them out yet here. They get a nice little single backup through the middle. They are chasing 6 runs with only 5 outs remaining.
It's going to be tough. I'm not sure what Wishbone has left. What does he have left?
That'd be the SPRP as we see come into the game, and then the closer, and then position players. So it's not looking great.
Yeah, this is the type of pitcher Ox brought in against the Spokes that did not work at all.
Oh, this could be big, though. Ground ball to short. Armstrong to Mattingly. Over to Glenn. Ends the inning in a double play. That is massive for the Astronauts.
Number 2.
And Hog Hill has had her troubles this season at times. I think on Match of the Week she was getting beat up a bit, but she's actually been really solid so far in the playoffs. Obviously a high-end pitcher.
The catcher,
yeah, I mean, she has middling stats, just carries those expensive traits, the Elite Four-Seamer and Rally Stopper, but it is true. I think we've seen her on the receiving end of some pretty tough situations. So, trying to just get these last couple of outs here where the spokesmen bring their offense back up to the dish as they chase 6 runs. Wish is hoping to extend that to be even more. I don't know if any lead truly feels safe against Spaceman.
Yeah, not really.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 21.
Sacrifice bunt there to move the runner up 90 feet. 2 outs. Gus Grissom swings. This one's hit softly up through the middle, and there's going to be the runner sent home. The throw's offline. It's a nice RBI hit there for the Astronauts. They do find some insurance here in the 9th. Extend their lead to 7.
Yeah, if I'm Wishbone, I'm going to pile on as much as I can here.
Don Linguino.
Yeah, we were harping on Hog Hill, and look at what just played out. She gets taken out of the game, yanked for Don Linguino.
That's a strike and a half, my friend.
Serves up some curveballs.
That's the thing, though, Zlat, is some of those pitchers that really rely on traits, those traits are not always kicked in.
Yeah, we see another RBI hit there. That one fell into the awkward spot in shallow left. This one's hit to left field again. And Wish is going to push it to the limit. Has plenty of speed. The runner actually didn't even have to slide because the throw was offline. So it's now a 9-run game.
John Glenn.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying, Zlat, is Spokesman doesn't do the little things to the extent that Wishbone does, and that includes throws.
Yeah, you've
Every
seen
throw is offline.
Yeah, a couple of kind of wary moments. So that's true. We have not seen the little moments there executed as well as you should expect from a high caliber player such as Spaceman, but he is capable of it. It's just this game not really going his way. Pitch left up in the zone. Beerson dives, make a nice stabbing catch, and throws it to first in time. Gets a mojo boost as a reward. You can see the hitting from both teams there. 19 for the Astronauts, 12 for the Spokesman. We enter the bottom of the 9th as the pinch hitter, Brago steps up to the plate.
Brago jumps.
Yeah, and we're going to nitpick the Spokesman. Obviously, maybe not doing all the little things, but certainly not lacking in getting the big things done, which is why he leads in this series.
Great reticle, just slightly early. Swings and misses on that fastball for the first out here in the bottom of the 9th as Rocket Turnburner steps in.
Rocket Turnburner.
Elena Kondakova on the bump for Wish. Gives up a single to right field there as it's a 9-run ball game as things stand.
And one thing I always feel like, Zlat, with these pitchers that have these goofy non-stats is I think part of their success ratio has to do with the fact that you feel like you should be hitting them, right? You feel like you should be hitting them. So it's almost like there's more pressure because they're coming in there with garbage stats.
2 outs, but the Steeler trade is enough to secure the stolen base there. Interesting little decision as this one's hit hard by Chuck Beerson. Should be an RBI single, even though that ball was murdered on a rope to center. Cuts that lead to 8. Reese Torch steps in, watches that ball miss the zone.
That's a strike and a half, my friend.
Every at-bat matters so much. This one hit deep to right. Is it going to be enough? Jumping, it's off the wall. Missed by the fielder. Nobody's able to score. Didn't have enough speed, but runners at second and third. You can feel the nerves starting to maybe creep back in a little bit for Wish. It is still an 8-run ball game. Just needs to take a deep breath and slow things down. As he earns the strikeout and the final out of Game 4 here, going in favor of the Astronauts as they chase the series. It's 3-1 in favor of the Spokesman.
Yeah, I'm just super happy for Wishbone for really stepping up there and coming up with a fantastic game against a great player. You know, pushing this forward. You know what? He won 1 out of 2 games tonight. Had a lot of bad luck in the first game, but got soundly outplayed. That's just what it was. But still, when you put both games together, a pretty even night, I would say.
Yeah, solid performance from both players there, of course. 2 very different box scores and storylines across games 3 and 4, but yeah, solid performance. Good to see Wish kind of recover and come back from that shellacking in Game 3. It is still a misleading scoreline, we'd probably say, for Game 3. I mean, he was hitting the ball hard, just right at defenders. Then on defense, he had a couple balls that were dropped by fielders you'd kind of expect to be caught. So that's just the rub of the land sometimes, how things can go. But, we saw Spaceman really punishing mistake pitches in Game 3. Not quite as much in Game 4, but still put out a solid performance, and even started to, like we said, started to get the nerves going a little in the 9th of Game 4. He had a run and then runners in scoring position, started to make Wish think, this isn't over yet. So still a very fun, solid series to keep an eye on, and we'll kind of check in with the players here. I do not believe they're going for a Game 5, but let me just make sure. Yeah, it looks like that's the case. So thank you to Spaceman for streaming tonight's games. Thanks for both players for coordinating with us to get the show out for the community. So thanks to the community for participating and watching the games tonight. Thanks to everybody. So Missed any final words from you?
Yeah, I have some final words, and that is that the window for signing up for Cup is almost closed. So if you're watching this and you have not signed up for Cup, and you want to sign up for Cup, you better get your buns in there right now, because there's only a few hours left. We do have close to 40 people, maybe more than that. I think it's going to be a great Cup. This series is rocking. We got Mama June, and Mush coming hard at you tomorrow night. I believe they're going to try to finish that series, so that's going to be wild stuff. Rock and roll in the XBL.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, of course. Shout out to the AA players as well for getting games in. We've seen those semifinals start up. We've got some AAA laggers out there still needing to get their first round games in. Most of those guys are in the second round at this point, though. So pacing's been, it's been a little slow, but things can happen. So it's all good. We'll get there eventually. We'll hope to get AAA playoffs streamed as soon as possible. Just waiting on those semifinal matchups to be solidified, as Spliff Star is the only team to secure their spot in those semifinals so far. Of course, my co-host this evening missed, fighting for his chance still against Julio and the Aces, putting up a good dogfight there. We've got Dwayne and Heisman duking it out on the top left side of the bracket, and then the bottom side on that left is to be determined. It's going to be Ricks versus the winner of Alec and Elron. So we'll have to see how things go there. But just a shout out to everybody yet again. Like you mentioned, the Cup is going to be starting here tomorrow. We're going to have the Wheel of Destiny, I think is how we refer to it. It's going to decide everybody's fate for group pairings. So if you've never participated in the Cup before, please be sure to tune into the stream. You'll get to see how you are selected into your group. So it's going to be a great time. Get signed up here before the end of the evening. Just a few hours remain. And with that, Miss, thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and have yourselves a great weekend, folks.